Get injured. I do have life jackets on board tonight for everybody. We've never used them before though. If you find yourself in the river for some reason, try standing up. It's about 3 feet deep almost everywhere we go. I jump in there, we walk out together. All right, now straight ahead, this bridge is dedicated to Robert Hugman. He was the architect, and we call him the father of the Riverwalk. He designed most of the fixtures all the way around the river. This was his dream. Well, this bridge is better known lately as the Salina Bridge, featured in the 1997 movie Salina, starring Jennifer Lopez. Now, Jennifer did a scene above us on this bridge, launched her career with that movie, and made this bridge the most popular landmark on the whole Riverwalk. Everybody wants to know where the Salina Bridge is. Well, we just went under it. Now, if you forgot to take a picture, don't worry. It looks the same from this side. The Salina Bridge. Now to the left, this building is the La Mancion Hotel, established in 1968. But believe it or not, this beautiful building to the left was built in 1853. It was originally the St. Mary's School for Boys, and the very beautiful architecture on that building to the left makes it one of my favorites on the river. That Spanish style. What a beautiful building. Now this bridge coming up is one of 5 in the city. One of 10 in the nation, built by the Berlin Bridge Company out of Berlin, Connecticut. Now, when we get to the other side of this bridge, I'm going to show you a very cool optical illusion. Now, if you want to check this out properly, what you're going to do, as soon as you get out from under this bridge, you take a look way up in the sky, but to the left-hand side, way up in the sky to the left. You'll see what appears to be a freestanding wall. Now you got to do it right away or you're going to miss it. Are you ready? Check it out. Way up in the sky to the left of the boat. Directly to the left. Way up in the sky. Pretty cool, huh? That is the Nix Hospital building, built in 1930. One of the first hospitals in the nation to have air conditioning. It is the birthplace of Oliver North, Carol Burnett, our former mayor Henry Cisneros, and my dad. Now in 2020, they shut down this hospital. Bubba Gump's the only thing in there right now. The rest is being built into either apartments or more than likely a new hotel. We'll see what happens. They're working on it. Very cool. If you haven't been to Alamo in a while, go check it out. They got a lot of new stuff up there. All right, now directly in front of us, coming up to the left in just a moment, is the only bar on the river that plays jazz every evening. They're setting up right now. They usually start about 7:30ish. Directly to the left of the boat right now. And they're going to play till midnight. If you got a chance to come back, check them out. They'll be very good. It's also an oyster bar. Here's another bridge built by the Berlin Bridge Company, Berlin, Connecticut. And then to the right, this red building is the Casino Club building, built in 1927. Originally the San Antonio Casino Association, but today it's a restaurant on the bottom 2 floors and expensive apartments up top. Alex Haley, and the author of Roots, and also Tommy Lee Jones both lived up in those apartments at one point. Now this area is known as Restaurant Row for obvious reasons. Coming up to the left, there's a new steakhouse. Been there about 5 months, maybe 6 months. But that used to be a restaurant called Karma. They didn't have any menus, you just got what you deserved. Hello. All right, but seriously, folks, if you're looking for some authentic Tex-Mex, you don't have to look far. Most of these restaurants can hook you up. And before you leave San Antonio, you got to get into some authentic Texas barbecue. I'm talking about brisket, everybody. And in Texas, sauce is optional. Now, if you look ahead of us up on street level, a little to the left, you'll see a big red statue up there. That big red statue is the Torch of Friendship, built in 2002 by Sebastian, a Mexican artist. And it was a gift from Mexico to San Antonio as a gesture of friendship. The Torch of Friendship right there, very cool statue. Now coming up to the right by that staircase, there's a bust of Robert Hugman. He designed most of this stuff. He was about 27 years old, graduated from the University of Texas. He got the idea from Venice. This was his dream. Robert Hugman, right there to the right. Now this restaurant, Casa Rio, was the very first restaurant to open their doors up on the Riverwalk. They opened back in 1946, and they're still open today. Same family owns them, must be doing something right. Also, this restaurant was featured in The Getaway, starring Steve McQueen, back in 1972. Now, this is a natural river, the San Antonio River. There's natural ground under us. But we're about to take a left and go under this bridge, and as soon as we do, we'll be on the man-made extension. Looks like we're safe to take a left here. Let me do it. This is where the ducks like to hang out and grab some chips. All right, we are now on the man-made extension. There is concrete under us, still about 3 feet deep everywhere back here. Now, this man-made extension was built back in 1968 to accommodate the World's Fair that we hosted here in that year. That way you can get from the fair down here to the Riverwalk, back and forth to the convention center and so on. But back then they didn't have these kind of boats. You had to rent a little paddle boat and paddle yourself. But I got you covered tonight. Don't worry about it. When we get out in front of this bridge, it's going to be a little hard to see at first, but you'll get it. Look up in the sky, a little bit to the left, you'll see a tower that has a blinking light on it. See that? That is part of the Marriott Hotel. So the Marriott there was built back in 1988. And prior to that, in that same exact spot, the Fairmont Hotel was built in 1906. Now when it came time to build the Marriott right there, they didn't want to tear down that historic building, so they decided to break a world record and move the entire Fairmont Hotel, all in one piece, about 6 blocks away. They used giant dollies, pneumatic tires, took them 6 days. They did break a world record, and to this day, the Fairmont Hotel is fully operational at Buena Street in South Alamo. That feat of engineering, just look up Fairmont Hotel, San Antonio, Texas on YouTube. And the whole city treated it like a parade, came out each of those 6 days and watched the Fairmont Hotel slowly go down the streets of San Antonio, Texas. Now again, we did host the World's Fair here in San Antonio back in 1968. And the absolute gem of the World's Fair was the Tower of the Americas. Take a look to your right, everybody, way up in the sky. That is a 750-foot tower, has an observation deck on top as you're dining. Now, I highly recommend that restaurant, but if you don't want to eat... March. All right, everybody, here comes the cops. Act natural. Straight ahead of us is the Stargazer statue. The Stargazer stands 16 feet tall, made out of a little over 80 pieces of Mexican volcanic rock. And the star is made out of marble. And the kids love to play on it despite the sign. The Stargazer statue. Now, if you missed the tower, check it out to the right in the sky. There's the tower. Tower of the Americas to the right, and the Stargazer right ahead of us. All right, everybody, low bridge coming. Please do not stand up. This bridge is undefeated against foreheads. All right. Now, I was just telling you about the Fairmont Hotel, how they moved that big sun on it. Commemorates 300 days of sunlight we average each year here in town. There's one with missions on it, because we have 5 missions in the city. And lastly, there's one with the big 300 on it. Now, the boats with the 300 on it commemorate the tricentennial that we had back in 2018. That makes San Antonio 306 years old. Got a birthday coming up in May 5th. But right now, we're still 306. And we just became the 6th largest city in the nation, just passed up Philadelphia recently, thanks to our friends from California. All right, now when you get out from under this bridge, take a look a little bit to the right, just across that sidewalk where the palm trees are. That is a statue of St. Anthony. That statue of St. Anthony was given to San Antonio by Portugal during the '68 World's Fair. Now, St. Anthony right there is the patron saint of lost items and lost children. San Antonio River was named after that saint. And then the city was named after the river, not the other way around like you might think. Now when you get out from under this footbridge, take a look to your right up in the sky through the trees. You'll see a steeple up there. That is the steeple belonging to St. Joseph's Catholic Church. St. Joseph's, built in 1868 by German immigrants. They wanted a place to worship in their own language, so they built that church. Now on the fourth Sunday of each month, an all-men's German choir goes and sings in there. St. Joseph's Catholic Church, everybody. Now, if you look up in the sky to the left, you'll see the Hilton Palacio del Rio Hotel, that big white hotel right there. And if you look a little closer, you'll notice that the rooms on that hotel kind of look like blocks, don't they? That's because they are. Back in 1968, the World's Fair was coming quick, and we needed way, way more hotel space, so H.P. Zachary, a local construction company, rose to the challenge and built that building in a world record pace. The way he did it so quick is the modular method. About 7 miles away, they had a construction site, and each one of those rooms was built one at a time 7 miles away at that site. Now, once each room was finished, fully furnished, beds made, all the amenities in there, they brought them back this way 7 miles, and a big crane grabbed them one at a time, started stacking them on top of each other just like blocks. That enabled them to break a world record and build that big building right there in just 7 months. An incredible time for building that large, even by today's standards. Now we're going to be right behind that building in a very short while, and I'll show you up close those modular rooms, now that you know the story. There is a video on that. Just look up Hilton Palacio del Rio, means Palace on the River, but it's called A Tall Story. A Tall Story, I believe is the name of that video. It's really cool. We're going to make our way back onto the natural part of the river though right now. As soon as we go across this bridge, we'll be back on it. All right, we're back on the natural part of the river now, the way it was formed thousands of years ago. All right, now coming up to the right, when we get past this bridge, there's another location of Go Rio. You can get the same tour. This one's called the Historia location. Now when you get out from under this bridge, take a look up in the sky to the left, you'll see those modular rooms I was telling you about. Now they placed a little over 500 of those rooms up there, one at a time, and again they did break a world record, and they built this building to the left in just 7 months. If you take a look to the right of the boat, 19 months to build. H.P. Zachary versus the government. Now the other cool thing about this hotel, it was fully booked 100% prior to groundbreaking because the World's Fair was coming. Pretty incredible. All right, now straight ahead we have La Vita. La Vita means little village. It was the very first settlement in all of San Antonio, originally built back in 1722 to accommodate the Spanish soldiers stationed at the Alamo. Today it is art galleries, gift shops, restaurants, bars. There's a whole village of shopping beyond those buildings right there called La Vita. Going around the top of that big building there. Does that remind you of anything? Anybody seen the original Ghostbusters? All right, that's not it. But it looks similar, very similar to that. It is the Tower Life building, built in 1929. Had a Sears Roebuck, gigantic wall that goes all the way across. When they engage it, it flips up and it blocks all the water from coming through here. That's what those scraping marks are from. Very effective floodgate, floodgate 4. I'm going to honk the horn right now. Don't panic. Here we go. All right. Now, when they think it's going to flood real bad here in San Antonio, they shut down floodgate 4 right here. They also shut down floodgate 3, I'm going to show you in a few minutes down the way. And that makes all the excess water go way behind us, about 200 miles all the way to the Gulf of America. That's where the San Antonio River ends, 200 miles south. Now, the San Antonio River begins about... I have this boat tied down. I'll let you know when it's safe to exit.